The Detroit Red Wings are just about to face off against the Winnipeg Jets, and the eyes of the hockey world may send a glance toward Detroit because Jonathan Toews is coming to town as a Winnipeg Jet. And for the first time in the NHL, Toews will face off against former Blackhawk teammate Patrick Kane. This is your 7-Minute Wings. Welcome back to the Red Wings Report with Strings and Pucks. This is Jeremy Laura. If you're new here, please click like and subscribe. And check out hockeyhotstove.com, where I write the Red Wings column. You can see my latest write-up as well as news and information on the other 31 teams in the league. So yesterday was a very rare quiet day off. Today, New Year's Eve, a lot is happening. The Red Wings are in action against Winnipeg. The Griffins are in action, and all of Detroit's prospects that are at the IIHF will hit the ice, including a tilt where Sweden will take on the USA, and you'll see Eddie Genborg and Max Plant. So depending on how today goes, tomorrow's 7-Minute Wings may be a little different, and there may actually be 2 episodes tomorrow. There just may be too much for one. It just depends on how the games go today. So just a quick heads up on that. Also, a huge thank you to all of you in the comments section. You're giving me great ideas for content. On days off, I will be doing some of these suggestions, including looking at prospects in the pipeline, who Detroit has coming, and kind of how we address what we need to acquire by trade to get this rebuild over the hump, because there are some gaps developmentally. So the Winnipeg Jets are coming to town. If you had told me even 5 or 6 years ago that Kane and Toews would face each other and neither one would be wearing a Blackhawks jersey, I may not have believed you. And for Toews in particular, it seemed as though he'd play his entire career for Chicago. Tonight's game against Winnipeg has likely been on the radar of fans and media, and there was probably a collective sigh of relief when Kane got back and it turned out he'd be able to play tonight. In his post-practice interview, Kane acknowledged the friendship and the competitive relationship that he shared with Jonathan Toews. Kane is just 2 goals shy of hitting 500 in his career, and he has family that's starting to follow him to the games, and they'll be watching. And as much as Toews will be supportive when Kane achieves that milestone, it's doubtful he wants to congratulate him while the two are sharing the ice. Both of these players have had to battle to be on the ice this season. Last year, Kane made his way back from a hip resurfacing. That procedure ends a lot of careers. However, most of you remember Kane put in the work. He made an impressive comeback as he suited up for Detroit. Jonathan Toews absolutely loves this game. He traveled the world to get healthy enough to be able to play. If you do some research online, Toews went all the way to India to receive a detox, and I can't even pronounce the word, so I'm putting it on the screen. It looks kind of like milk, but he went to India to get this traditional detox because of health issues that he was having. And the result, he made what many considered to be an unlikely return to the NHL, suiting up for the Winnipeg Jets. The incredible story adds another chapter as the two face each other for the first time in the NHL. Of course, they've played each other on the international level, but in the NHL, they're going to be on opposite sides of the ice. And apart from the individual competition, Detroit and Winnipeg are in very different situations right now. The Wings sit at the top of the Atlantic Division, very slim margins, while Winnipeg, they sit at the bottom of the league with 34 points. They do not want to be where they're at. And with Toews coming to Detroit, and all the media attention tonight, you have to think the team's going to try to give him a win. They don't want to see Kane hit that milestone with Toews on the ice tonight. And the Red Wings, they have to be sharp early on and play a full 60 minutes against a frustrated Winnipeg lineup. If you've been a Detroit fan for any amount of time, New Year's Eve, for whatever reason, is usually a pretty good game for Detroit. And they need to end 2025 on a high note. They need to prove that this incredible start they have isn't a fluke, that this team can engage, they can play, And absolutely, you'd love to see Kane get a couple goals tonight and hit that milestone. Really end the year well, because the upcoming schedule is going to be absolutely brutal all the way up into the Olympics. So if you're a fan, if you're watching, expect a huge amount of coverage as Toews arrives at LCA. Look for the footage of the two sharing a hug and catching up. But once the puck drops, all that goes away. Winnipeg will want to play a strong game, and the Red Wings, they want to end the year well. Detroit wants to exit 2025 on a high note as they enter an unforgiving schedule, literally playing pretty much every other day with 3 sets of back-to-backs as they head up to the Olympics. If you watched the interview with Kane yesterday, apparently in the room, he's trying to tell the team, I've been on good teams, this is a good team. That's the kind of encouragement that's been going on behind the scenes. There's a lot of pride in this locker room right now, and the Olympic rosters are just about to be announced. Team USA said on their website they'll give the full updates on January 2nd, but as far as I've heard, a lot of that information is supposed to be out today. When those start to come out, I will do some kind of update. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel for notifications, because I'll do posts instead of just making a video as some of these rosters come out, and then I'll do a summary on the next day's 7-Minute Wings. So again, let me know if you're tuning in tonight. There's going to be a lot of attention on Detroit. And if they don't come out strong and play a big game, tomorrow's 7-Minute Wings and all the reporting is going to be, is Detroit going to have the second half they need to get into the playoffs? This was your 7-Minute Wings.